Good morning, Hillcrest friends. We're ready for another art adventure lesson. I'm Kristen, mother to Audrey and Elise, and happy Hillcrest volunteer and Hillcrest parents. So excited to be sharing another art adventure lesson today with you. So far, we've learned about New York at Night, the photograph by Bernice Abbott. We've also learned about Tahitian Landscape, which was oil on canvas painting by Paul Gauguin. And we recently, or perhaps you learned about the ceremonial vessel. And that was an exciting piece for us to learn about too from Asia. So today we are going to learn a new piece. And remember, the most important part of art adventure is for us to critically think. So I'm going to show you another piece from our people and their environments theme, and you will have to zoom in and really think about, where did this piece come from? Who made it? Why did they make it? Make sure you're thinking about these things as you look at the piece and see if you can figure out what it was used for even. So I'm going to share my screen and we will get started. Here is our first our piece that we're going to be looking at today. So teachers, we will do the same thing. I will go through and ask the questions the first time. And then when you're listening to the video the second time, it would be wonderful if you could maybe pause after each question and have one or two volunteers share their thinking. Hillcrest friends, we really just want you critically thinking about each piece of art. That's why Art Adventure is so special. Wow, this is a super cool piece. I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking what it could be made out of. What do you think it's made out of? Who in the world made this piece of art? Why did they make this piece of art? Does this look like something? Do the parts of this piece of art resemble anything? Could it be made out of? Does it look heavy or light? Do you think this is an accurate representation of the size? Or how big is this? What would you call it? All right, teachers, now as we look closely again, go ahead and have some friends volunteer to answer those questions that I just went over. What is this? Is it a painting? What is it made out of? Another question, what do the curves represent? What was the artist trying to make? Do you see any shapes of animals represented here? What could this be made out of? How big is this piece of art? All right, friends. Now you're going to learn about this piece of art. This is called the Tyiwara Headcrest. And you can see it if you guys want to practice pronouncing Tyiwara, that is there in the pronunciation guide. It's from Bamana, Mali, Africa. Okay, that's where I wore my Books for Africa t-shirt. So now we are in the continent of Africa. And this is actually a really cool close-up part. This is actually made of wood, and you can actually see a little shell that was tied on. There are two places where the shells are tied on. So very interesting. This is a really cool close-up. So this again is called the Tyiwara Headcrest. And if you guess that correctly, a head crest is worn on its head. And look, this is a different view. We were looking at the side view. This is the front view. And you can see that this particular head crest is actually only about 3 inches wide, but it is 2 feet tall, boys and girls. So that means that this was worn on their heads in Africa by the Bamana people, and they would wear it actually to help talk about, it's it's similar to our other piece in that it was help for agriculture. They would honor this person called Tyiwara, and Tyiwara was like an agricultural a special person in their past that they would look up to. And he was a legendary person that they would look up to. And when he died, their crops started to die. So then they would do these Tyiwara dances and wear these head crests on their heads and dance around and try and like talk to nature and to the universe and Tyiwara and say, please bring us water, because they would be in Africa, there would be a lot of drought. And so they would wear these head crests. Now it gets even cooler because there are 3 different animals that are actually represented here. I wonder if you can see any of them. If you look at the top part, you might notice the 2 things that are coming up like antlers. Does anybody have an idea what that could be? If you guessed the wonderful, if you guess the antelope, you are correct. Okay, it was from Mali, and this is where they would be, it would be very dry there in Africa, and so they would put these things on, and the antelope would help stir up the ground with their big long horns. Okay, and then there it is, there's a picture of it. And so that was partly represented in this wooden sculpture. It was such a surprise to me when I found out that it was made out of wood, because it looked like it was more than wood, like maybe some clay again, but it actually is made out of like wood. And what Tyiwara means is a wild animal. So it would be kind of like, and it would be kind of show claws and fierceness. And Tyiwara was half antelope, half human. And so he would come down from the skies to teach humans how to plant the seeds and tend the crops and harvest. And so they would wear these head crests to show how important Tyiwara was over time. And it would really help with the successful farming and food production. And so they would do performances to try and get the land to produce. So there's the connection to the antelope. It also had other, if you notice, if you look at the front part of the sculpture, the head crest, you'll notice this long snout-like part that kind of looks like it goes down into the ground. Does anybody have any ideas what that could be? I'm hoping that maybe you noticed or thought about an anteater or an aardvark. That's exactly what it was. Or some of you maybe even know this from Star Wars or from one of the other things, but I didn't even know about this animal, but I guess it's pretty special to Africa, the pangolin. So here's first the aardvark. And it's with its long snout would also dig into the African terrain, and it would help stir up to get the agriculture going for them. And here is the pangolin, again with a long snout and the sharp spikes. And I think that's what on the head crest, you can see the spikes. So this is a pangolin, and I guess they are very famous in Africa, and sometimes they can even be sold for a lot of money, the pangolin, because it's such a unique animal. But this is what the head crest was symbolized for. And it would just really help for clearing the land and tilling the soil and planting the seeds and tending the plants in a timely and efficient manner. So they wanted to wear these Tyiwara head crests to honor farmers, and artists creatively would put the long horns of the antelope, the hump body of the aardvark, and the long body of the pangolin. Okay. So they were craftspeople too. So now I'm going to show you, here are some actual people or pictures of the Bamana villagers, and they're wearing the head crest, and you can see, yes, they are definitely 2 feet tall, and you can see about 3 inches wide. And even like a foot of length too. So very cool to see how big they are. I'm going to try showing this video. Hopefully you can just see them doing their Tyiwara dance.
One of the most important groups producing abstract art are the Bambara people, justly renowned for their highly stylized antelope headdress masks called Tyiwaras.
Awesome. So
One of the most important groups producing abstract art are the Bambara.
Sorry, friends. Hopefully you are able to, let me see if I can get back here. Thanks for working with me through the technological difficulties, but hopefully you were able to notice the cool parts. Here's our another art adventure piece that we talked about last time. And if not, you can check it out on the YouTube channel. I will send a link for you to look at that one. But here is our Tyiwara Headcrest. And again, it was made out of wood. And they would use these wood tools like sharp knives and cutting tools called adzes, which were kind of like an axe, but with its blade positioned perpendicular to its handle, kind of like a hoe. And that's how they actually created and crafted these headcrests. So very cool African wooden sculptures, okay, that the performers would wear on their heads. So looking, I'm going to stop sharing the screen and turn my video back on. So I'm hoping today I'm going to send this in with your teacher, and maybe you'll use it and color it and try and make your own head crest. Again, think how cool that they were. It was actually, again, 2 feet tall. So, I mean, you can see that comes off the screen, even when I'm trying to show you how tall that would be walking around with that on your head. Maybe you're going to use a piece of scratch paper, or I'm sorry, not scratch paper, but scrapbook paper, and make your own head crest. That would be cool. You could do that. Or maybe you're going to design it and color it with a bunch of amazing colors uniquely to you. Maybe you're going to design your own head crest of like a dog and your favorite animals, maybe a dog and a dolphin combined with a bird. Who knows? Maybe you're going to do something to help honor Earth Day or help honor something traditional in your family. But it is your choice. Those are just some ideas. I hope you enjoyed learning about our Tyiwara Headcrest. And I look forward to seeing what you come up with to create in your own mind. Maybe you'll make something out of recyclables again. That's always a fun thing. Or just draw some cool masks and head crests on different people in a drawing. It's your choice. Have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed learning another lesson with Art Adventure at Hillcrest. Bye.